Hello everyone and welcome back to this Next.js and Strapi tutorial series. In the previous video we saw how to create authenticated queries to fetch data from our Strapi CMS, both to get companies and to get jobs, all right, and to call them those endpoints from the test Strapi API here to be able to see the data coming from our CMS. Okay, now what we want to do, let's not forget our goal ultimately is to fetch the data that are needed for our Next.js application. Okay, so the first thing that we need to deal with is to get, because for every route that we generate, we need to get the path for that route, right? So, and basically the path here for each route or for each page of our application is defined by the slug of that page, right? So we need a way to get the slugs of both the jobs and the companies, right? So in this case here, we are fetching the companies, and obviously we have the slugs, all right? But you can see that if every time we call get static paths, okay, like if I go to get static paths in the finished version of the app, okay, if I go to get static paths, you see that we have a way to get the company's slugs. Okay, why is that? We can rely on get companies to get all the slugs, but that's an overfetching. We are overfetching. So how can we get only the slugs? Well, Strapi gives us a nice way to specify exactly the fields that we need when we're making a query. Okay, so we give this fields attribute to Strapi, and Strapi will returns to us only the attribute that we have requested for. And in order to do that, Strapi uses the query string library. Basically, it allows you to create objects that are like this, and basically stringify them before sending them over, right? So that's basically ultimately what you're sending to Strapi, but it's not very user friendly or readable to create queries that are like this. That's why. Let me zoom in a little bit so you see better. It's not very user friendly to create requests that are like this. So that's why Strapi relies on the query string library to stringify the request and send them over to the CMS server. Okay, so we're gonna install the query string library now and do something like this to get the slug. So without further ado, let's do that. Okay, so open the terminal, npmi query string. Very good. Let's install that. Very good. Now, next thing you want to do is go to, let me close everything here, close all. You're focusing on the data layer. So Strapi and then company. So let's create a get company slugs function. Let's do that. Get company slugs. Very good. Well, the first thing you want to do is const create a query. Okay, query string. Very good. Query string. Let me import that here. Import queries from query string. Very good. Okay. Oops. Now what I do is stringify. Very good. Pass in the object, bunch of objects. The first one is the fields that I need, right? Well, in this case, I just need the slug. So I'm just going to pass in slug. And then obviously, every time you do a request, you specify the encodes value only, and I say true. Okay, so that's basically some boilerplate from a query string. And that's it. I have the query. Now let me send that query to Strapi to get the data. So const res equals to await. Remember, we are importing our Axios that we created from the client here, which is already has the authorization and the bearer token. Okay, so we use Axios here again one more time. Axios dot get, and what do we pass in? Well, we pass in the API URL here. Okay, like this slash, what do we get? Companies and query string, right? So next thing is to add in the query that is now stringified. And what do we get? Well, we get the raw slugs, const raw slugs okay, equals to res.data. Okay, so let me return this raw slugs. So you see, oops, what have I done? No. Slugs, very good. Let's see how it looks if I call it from our Strapi API. Let's see that here. Okay, let's see what you're getting. I'll refresh the page here. You see, now you're getting this. And first, let's see the whole response that you're getting from Strapi. Let's see the whole thing, the whole response here. See, it's a bunch of, we definitely need the first data, because the first one is from, yeah, this is exactly the payload that we're getting from Strapi, right? That's what we're getting from Strapi. We need to be able to return an array with these two values and only these, right? So let's try to parse that. Obviously, we need to do the first data, okay, to just return that. But these are raw slugs. We don't want to return those. We want to return like only the slugs. So slugs equals to raw slugs, and I'm going to use the map function here, raw slug. Return. What do we return? Well, if you remember what we had, if I comment here and I refresh again, we see, well, we need to drill down and get attributes.slug, and that'll be fine. All right, so let's do that here. Raw slug dot attributes dot slug. Very good, and then we return the slugs instead. Fantastic. Let's see what we have here now. Very good, right? It works, right? So now we have implemented the first API. Well, let's do the same for the jobs. Okay, so let's just copy this here, copy this function, and let's do the same in the jobs API layer. Get jobs slugs, import query string, import query string from query string, and we're going to do exactly the same here. Jobs. Very good. So now in our test Strapi, instead of calling get company slugs, we call get job slugs. Get job slugs, and we should get 6 of them. Very good. See, all the job slugs, right? So that's it, folks. That's it for this tutorial. For this video. In the next one, we're gonna see how to get a job fetch data by slug. So basically, given now we have the slugs, now we want to get the actual job or the actual company given its slug. So that's what we're going to cover in the next video. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.